Hello and welcome to Notice Tonight, the show that decodes the region. I am Wasbir Hussain. The Northeast is in the news yet again for the wrong reasons. This time it is for the menace of moral policing. If you are on an unmarried couple and riding a motorcycle, you can well be made to stand before a kangaroo court and whipped in full public view like what had happened recently in Assam's Gwalpara district. Then again, if some people just happen to think that a married man and a woman were having an extramarital affair, they can be almost beaten to death or assaulted all night. This happened in Kotiatoli near Nagaon in central Assam. And of course, the two young men, Nilutpal and Abhijit, were beaten to death near Dokmoka in Assam's Karbi Anglong district just because the locals believed they were child lifters. Well, Tripura is in the news for just the same horrible menace, moral policing. Two people have been lynched in the past 3 days by the moral policing goons. Now, why are people taking the law in their own hands? Why are the moral policing goons not afraid of the law? Are people losing faith in the criminal justice system? Does this trend of public trials reflect on policing in our country or the region? Is it because of the delay in the justice delivery system? Is social media responsible for encouraging people to go for mob lynching? To discuss the subject, I am joined by Guwahati Police Commissioner Mr. Hiren Nath. Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, professor at NEHU, joins me from Shillong. And at our studios in Guwahati, I have Dr. Rajiv Handik from Guwahati University, writer and social activist Dr. Akaki Tara, and Dr. Sangeeta Datta, consulting psychiatrist. Let me go straight to Dr. Prasenjit Biswas in Shillong. Prasenjit, what do you think? Has the people gradually losing faith in the criminal justice system? Is the mob lynching a reflection of policing in our country?
Yes, mob lynching actually resembles the mob lynching that was happening in America from 1930 to 1960 until America had a strong anti-lynching law. In our country, we either have a deficit in administration and also endless delay in criminal justice system, as well as there is no anti-lynching law in our country. Given that, people get an opportunity to take law in their hands, and what we call as moral policing is completely lack of all morality, because it targets the minorities, the Dalits, the lower castes, the scheduled tribes, the marginalized sections of the society. Especially, this has a strange process of inversion. It inverts the social relations in a manner that the marginalized people are looked upon as violating the dominant social norms, and it's an attack of the dominant on the marginalized sections of people. In the name of religion, caste, or certain other extramarital affairs, certain alibis which do not require any evidencing, which do not require any validity of a claim, but it can generate a certain kind of a xenophobic mentality, or a mentality of othering, or a mentality of victimizing the other, and this results into a mass mobilization, creating a lynch mob, and that results into a kind of a lynching situation, which has happened in Assam, of which you gave good examples.
We'll expand on that, Dr. Prasenjit Biswas. Dr. Akaki Tara, Prasenjit there saying that America has an anti-lynching law, we don't have, and he also said that basically the weakest section of society, the minorities, the Dalits. But in one of the recent examples in Assam, the two young boys, they were not of the lower strata of society, they were well-established middle-class young boys. So do you see a trend? What are your opening remarks? Why do you think people are going for public trials?
There are a lot of things are coming into my mind. First, it's a need of an hour that we discuss this matter, because there is spate of violent incidents going on, like it's been increasing day by day.
Yeah.
Like moral policing, as we all know, is a blanket term for those vigilant groups who use it as, like, to restore some morality. Now the question comes, like as I see, moral, what is moral basically? Who decides what is moral and immoral? And who are the targets? I don't believe in that there are some Dalits and there are some religious groups are kind of victim of this moral policing. I see there are a few soft targets, basically. Soft targets, those who are unarmed, basically. People target, recently, let's give me a few moments, I want to cite an example. Recently in Moregaon, like maybe 2-3 months back, I got a phone call from a lady who was crying. She said she was with her fiancé in a room. She went there to meet her fiancé and her neighbor thought that, oh my God, they are doing some immoral activities, dragged her, pulled her.
So you have to assume something and then take action. That is what is happening. Now I'll come back to you, Dr. Kakitara. Dr. Rajiv Hendik, what are your opening remarks? Why do you think this trend is increasing?
I think there are many reasons for it. As Prasenjit has rightly said, there is no, anti-lynching law in our country, and the follow-up action of whatever has happened during the course of the last few years, you can just imagine, from 2015 onwards till today, I think the number has touched around 60 now with of these lynching incidents. So, what has happened to the incidents which have happened in 2015. I don't think there have been enough
so exemplary punishments have not been given.
No, that is one part of it, and the othering, as he has also said, the othering, it leads to a sort of demonization of the other, and it leads to a mentality where you totally don't regard the other to be human, and you develop a psychology where you are the superior and he is not the conformist, and so you try to remove him, or at least force him to him or her to follow the norms.
Some of the reasons our panelists given. I want to come to you. What is a psychiatrist analysis of the situation? Why do you think people take the law in their own hands just because they have assumed something? They just have to have something in their mind, the mob, that yes, these are the wrongdoers.
Yes. Look, like it's been already mentioned that there are multiple factors associated with it, but two primary reasons is, of course, the legal loopholes. Delay in justice is definitely one, and a section of the society has definitely lost faith in the legal, in the justice system, the legal system, and perhaps that's why some people tend to justify that, well, since the police is not doing its job or the government is not doing its job, so we should, do it. So it's good that it's been done this way. I've heard people say this also sometimes. But having said that, we must also understand that, the previous panelist has mentioned this, that when there's an incident like this, see, in a mob violence or when we talk about a herd mentality, which happens, primarily 1, 2 or 3 people, a very small, small number of people actually become leaders in the mob, and the rest follow. Now, in a mob, what happens, if you look at mob psychology, it is very important to understand that how the mob or how the crowd behaves is very different from how the individuals creating the mob would behave individually.
Absolutely.
There is lack of inhibition when it comes to a mob because there is anonymity, some kind of anonymity, some kind of lack of accountability and lack of responsibility.
There is anonymity. Is one of the reasons that triggers a mob to go about doing their job, take the law in their own hands. We have the police commissioner of Guwahati, Mr. Hiren Nath. Mr. Hiren Nath, welcome to Northeast Tonight. Mr. Hiren Nath, we have been discussing why are the incidents of mob lynching or moral policing increasing. A question to you is it a reflection of policing in the country, or are people losing faith in the criminal justice system? Mr. Hiren Nath.
Well, Wasbir, I won't say that it is, there is only one response to this question.
Right.
There may be many replies to it. You see, I will take it as a social evil. It's not just a problem of a particular aspect, a particular region of the society or the country. Or a village or a rural area or an urban area. It's not like this. I'll say that it is a problem of this society, and there are multifarious reasons for it. It may be one of the reason what you have mentioned, like that loss of credibility by departmental law and different law enforcement agencies. This may be one of the reason, but there may be many other reasons. See, all the institutions of the society.
Yeah.
This may be the fallout or flip side of modern system, that they have lost credibility. It may be the family, it may be the educational institutions, it may be the law enforcement agencies, it may be the social morality, it may be the God-fearing nature of men. All this has contributed into it. And just when I was sitting here and one of the speaker was saying that a mob doesn't have a personality. A mob doesn't have a discretionary power,
Self-regulatory powers, yeah.
Logic. Actually what happened, they behave like an unruly crowd. So when a very good boy, who may be a very nice boy otherwise, maybe in college, school, or in their residences, but you see while in the mob, they may not be very good and they will be behaving in an unruly manner.
Right.
So this may be the reason that why a mob behave in a different way.
Right.
Why a mob doesn't oblige to the social morality of the
Mr.
rules.
Hirennath,
This may be the reason.
Mr. Hirennath, you know, we have Professor Prasenjit Biswas of NEHU in Shillong. He has said that, you know, generally the weaker sections of the society, whether than xenophobia, the anti-outsider, we versus they, and the weaker sections, the Dalits, the tribes people, they are generally the targets. Do you agree to this kind of a description? Do you agree it is that?
No, no, absolutely no. I don't say that. It may not be true at all in this part of the country. It may be true some other parts of the country, but absolutely not in Assam. Because whenever there is something, this kind of lynching or anything, you will find that it is done, suppose in Daini or in witch hunting, it is done by the villagers themselves. So there is no question of that another lower category or upper category or higher category. It is in the community itself, the same community, same people living in the same village or locality, they are doing this thing. And
So,
even at the same time, it cannot be, you know, earmarked to a particular region or rural area. Even what happened in Guwahati. When Guwahati, one girl who came for educational purpose, it was never castigated that she belongs to a particular community.
Right.
That there was some mob, it may be so that who had beaten her, who had molested her, some of the members of the mob may be of belonging to that community only. So
Okay.
especially in Assam or
I will
Northeast, I don't
absolutely. You are bang on that. I will come back to you, Mr. Hirennath. Kindly stay on. Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, what makes you think
Yes,
that
yes.
it is only the lower strata of society that can be the victims of a public trial or a moral policing? Why do you think it is increasing by the day?
Primarily, if you take empirically the cases, in one case it may be people like Nilotpal and Avijit, but in most of the cases, people who are targeted and who are soft targets are necessarily coming from the lowest strata of the society. I can talk about a large number of lynch cases, those who are lynched. They do not really come from the dominant upper strata of the society. This is a sociological observation, and it's an established sociological observation, as Professor Ashish Nandi once pointed out, that in the lynch mob creation there is a pest control mentality. He calls it pest control mentality, as if people coming from the lower strata who do not belong to my society can be otherized, and if they are found to be breaking some moral code, they can be penalized. They assume a certain right of penalizing the other.
Right.
This
Now,
assumption comes from the point of view of social dominance.
Absolutely.
Now, in case of Nilotpal and Avijit, they just 1 second. In case of Nilotpal and Avijit, they were looked upon as intruders. They intruded with a sophisticated car. They took some photographs, etc., that led to that narrative and that resulted into violence.
Right.
So that's again a certain kind of inversion here. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I
Dr.
wanted to
Sangeeta, I mean, you were saying, why don't you ask this question to Mr. Hirennath, that, you know, the mob mentality, which Dr. Sangeeta, you can ask it yourself actually, that they have the benefit of that, you know, anonymity. Therefore, you know, they feel that nobody will be able to catch a huge group. So that is also one of the
So they
reasons.
lose the inhibitions, you know, they feel free to do whatever they feel like.
So, Mr. Hirennath, if you can hear me, you know that mob, it is increasing because of that lack of accountability. They have the benefit of that anonymity. Such a huge number of
Yes.
people. Nobody knows who exactly started the assault first. Is that one of the reasons? Is it a difficult task for the police?
It's a very important point that you have raised, Wasbir, and Sangeeta has replied properly. Number one, the people who are members of a mob, they think that nobody is looking at us,
Yeah.
and they want to shred their responsibility. They think that everybody is beating, so I am also beating. So nobody is looking at me, so my responsibility is not there. But as per law, you know what happened? That in a mob, if a particular person is killed by one or two person, and other people are just standing and inciting, and they are a part of the mob, they are equally responsible as per Indian Penal Code. So many people doesn't know it. Many young
Yes,
generation
but there is
people,
lack
they
of
don't know
awareness.
it.
So that is a very
There is
important
lack of
point.
awareness.
They are standing there,
Yeah.
and they are not preventing that person and shouting something or encouraging these people in many ways, either words or physical gesture or something like this. They are also equally responsible.
So, Dr. Rajiv Handik, this is
Yeah.
a very important point which the Guwahati
Yes.
Police Commissioner is saying. Mr. Hirennath is saying that
But people are not aware of
in a
it.
mob, suppose 3 people are beating and 10 people are watching, they are equally responsible for committing that crime. So, do you think the police or even the civil society needs to reflect on this and make this, create awareness about this particular provision in the law?
No,
Dr.
the
Rajiv
point-
Hendik and Akka Kitora.
No, the point is, if there is this provision in the law, why has not, you know, it been properly implemented? You know, not in Assam, I am not talking about the cases in Assam, in most of the cases in other parts of India, in Rajasthan, in UP, what has happened
In
is,
Haryana, the
yeah,
Khar Panchayat.
yeah, section 302 is not imposed, it's 304 which is bailable, and but the point is they come out of the jail, they come out, you know, on bail, and you know, the persons who actually Prasenjit said in those cases, they are the marginalized section,
Yeah.
and you know, they feel afraid, and you know, the case doesn't go forward actually to the logical, you know, end of justice. The
Dr.
justice
Akka
is-
Kitora, what are your thoughts on this?
Look, I have a very different narratives of, I can cite example of recently Karni Sena, as like, you know, the mob lens, like, you know, they attacked one of Sanjay Leela Bhansali for certain reasons, no?
Yeah.
This is kind of moral policing. They say that your firm is not capturing our
Yeah.
the respect and like, you know, not portraying the total respect, which is very vague. So, I think this is not only happening this part of this country, it's happening everywhere. In Bangalore recently, in a pub, few people came into and they banged into the doors and they pulled the hairs of few.
so this is not peculiar to Assam.
No. Basically, this moral policing is happening. Number one is I have seen the people nowadays, they don't have any fear for the law, and number two, a kind of voyeurism.
Voyeurism, no fear for the law.
And
You can
I
also
want
call
to
it
add,
sadism,
and,
you know,
and,
maybe
and
instead of-
sadism is what
yes.
you know. And recently, I have come to know one boy was brutally been bitten, and they called the media people, and
now to expose themselves on
they
camera.
waited for the camera, and,
And when
they
they came,
beat
they
him
started
again.
beating
They
again.
started
Now-
beating again,
Okay,
and this is the worst cases of sadism.
Mr. Hirennath, Dr. Prasenjit Biswas says that America has an anti-lynching law, India does not have. Do you think, you know, there is a gap in the provisions available? Do you think an anti-lynching law is important, Mr. Hirennath?
No, I don't think that
Can we
there
have
is any
Hirennath on the screen?
deficiency in
Yes.
the law. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Wasbir. I don't think that there is any deficiency in the law, because you see, whatever crime is committed by the mob, either it is killing a person, lynching, beating, all these provisions are there in the India Penal Code. But at the same time, I must say, there is no harm in having stricter laws or amendment to the laws and giving more teeth to the law. Maybe special courts, maybe more penal provision, maybe more, say, imprisonment for life or something like this, giving cognizable status to most of this, you know, crime. Because I will tell you, say, British society, just I was mentioning
Yeah.
somewhere else, after 1000 of years of their democracy, that is after 1000, only in 1830 they had a modern police system. Because even when the democracy is growing and it is becoming mature, there is no harm in giving more teeth to the law. I was in Cambridge in 2012 and I was astonished to know that the provision for stopping a car and checking, that was started in 2012 only in British society, whereas they have a democracy of more than 1000 years, just 8 or 9 years before. So giving more power to the law enforcement agencies, giving more teeth to the law, there is no harm. Even most advanced democracies of the world, like
Yeah.
Western societies, they are also adding new
No,
laws.
I'll go to
So
Dr.
there is no harm,
Prasenjit.
sir.
I'll go to Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, but before that,
Yes.
one more question to you, Mr.
Sure.
Hirennath. Is it a reflection on
Yeah.
policing? Because as Dr. Rajiv Hendik was saying, that instead of 302, usually they slap IPC 304, and that is bailable. That is what one of the charges on the police in this kind of incidents.
It's not actually, it's not everywhere. You see, after looking into the incident, the concerned police station will draw up a FIR. So it will depend upon that how these things are, because we have to see, because if you attack a person with the sharp side of a weapon and the blunt side of a weapon, the section will differ. So policeman knows is better that what. So if somebody, you are breaking the head of some person with a blunt object, then there may be more injury, but the sections will be different. But there will be less injury with a sharp weapon, then the sections will be different. So those differences are there. But one thing here, what I want to say,
Yeah.
that police has a very big responsibility, that I admit. Many a time we fail to investigate properly, that I admit. Being a police officer, I always admit that it is our bounden duty to investigate this kind of cases very promptly and
Yeah.
with effective, speed and all these things. But at the same time, elsewhere I mentioned this thing, that in the criminal justice system, police is one of the many pillars.
Absolutely.
Police
Absolutely.
is only investigating.
Absolutely.
There is prosecution,
I
there
must-
are
I
courts,
must- I must-
there are
I
other
must-
bench and bar.
Yeah. Yes, carry on.
So, police is only one of the pillar. Now, if you want to actually give punishment to a particular wrongdoers or a criminal or a miscreant, then all the pillars of criminal justice system, they should be working equally effectively.
Absolutely.
If
Equally
one of the,
effectively, that is
pillars
extremely...
is not working effectively, then the whole process will crumble
exactly.
down and whole
Exactly.
process will
Thank you for being so candid. It is rare to find this kind of clarity generally from a very senior police officer. Thank you for that clarity. Mr. Hirennath, just hold on. Yes, Rajiv, you were saying something. I'll also go to Dr. Prasenjit Biswas.
Yeah,
Yes, Rajiv.
just I wanted to know, because in
Yeah,
any of these
sure.
mob situations, you have the instigators in the form of WhatsApp messages and all, someone who does it, and there are the perpetrators.
Yeah.
And of course, the victim is there, and there are the spectators. What is the type of I just wanted to know from Mr. Nath, actually, what are the type of how do you how the law differentiates amongst them in terms of punitive measures?
Very
Actually-
quickly, Mr. Hirennath. Yes.
Yeah, actually you see, for a crime committed by a group, two things may be there. That is criminal, that meeting of mind before the crime and meeting of mind during the crime. Now somebody is instigating by WhatsApp and all these things, then it will be meeting of mind of the wrongdoers before the offense, before the crime. So
Yeah.
that will be a different section, I think 34 IPC. But if it is during that time, then it should be 149. Where in 149 it is clearly mentioned, as I said a while before, that every member of unlawful assembly guilty of offence committed in prosecution of common object. So if during the commission of the offence, if they come together, then it is 149. But by WhatsApp and others, then at the same time, if inciting by WhatsApp and others,
Absolutely.
Which is more serious?
IT
Absolutely.
Act will
We'll
also be added.
continue.
Which is more serious?
Which is more serious. We'll continue with that. I have to go for a break. But before that, please hold on, Mr. Hirennath. Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, I mean, what you started by saying by citing the need for a tough anti-lynching law. But is it just
Yes.
the legal system?
Certainly.
Don't we have enough laws in hand? Is it more about enforcement than any new law? What are your thoughts?
No, police lacks a standard operating procedure in case of a lynch mob. An anti-lynching law will empower them to have a standard operating procedure, number one. Number two, in case of an anti-lynching law as in America, police can take cognizance and a prior cognizance of a mob building situation, which police here cannot do lawfully. Police depends on surveillance and intelligence. Move away from surveillance and intelligence and go to a ready procedure of taking cognizance of a mob building situation. That can be done through an anti-lynching law as in the US. Now, in the US, because of extreme form of racism and xenophobia, such a law had to be enacted in 1960s. Now, India has moved to a stage where you have too much of suspicion, too much of othering, and you have an absence of the police and the state in a lynch mob context. The complete absence of policing actually encourages creation of such lynch mob. Police depends on some police station and watchmanship kind of a practice. But watchmanship is not enough to understand how the
Right.
mob builds up. Mob builds up because of certain kind of stigmatization, certain kind of mobilization. All this can
Absolutely.
be covered by a comprehensive anti-lynching
is
as in the
Absolutely.
US.
I will
So
go for a
emphasize
break.
that we should
Just a
advocate
minute,
for
Dr. Sangeeta. I
Yeah.
will go for a short break now. When I come back, I should take this question and ask Mr. Hirennath as well as my other panelists as to whether community policing holds the key in this kind of a situation, whether the police should use the society itself as force multipliers. On that note, we'll go for a short break. Stay on. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'd like to go straight to Mr. Hirennath. Mr. Hirennath, while going for the break, you know, the people were discussing about the policing. There was a question mark on the policing and enforcement of law. My question is, yes, it is true that the police cannot be present in each and every locality. Police cannot prevent each and every single mob kind of a situation because you have to get the information to be there in time. My question is, to what extent is moral policing can be prevented through community involvement? What has happened to community policing? It is just not systematized. There is hardly any systematic community policing.
Wasbir, at the beginning, sorry, I mentioned this thing that I will take it as a social evil, as a problem of the society. It
Yeah.
is not only the problem which can be solved by policemen alone. So definitely, since there are the regions which are responsible for this kind of things, and these regions are due to different phenomena in the society. Phenomena may be, this is slackness in the society, as I mentioned, lack of credibility of different institutions in the society, lack of social control, lack of social morality, disparate attitude on the part of the young generation, maybe permissiveness in the society, maybe consumeristic and materialistic attitude. Therefore, the regions and the solutions lies in these things. Society should be in the picture. Society has to find out some solution for these things. Police alone cannot do it, and as you have
Absolutely.
mentioned, society or social group should be the force
Feel
multiplier
free to
for
come
the
in.
police
No,
in
no.
this
Yeah.
regard.
I want to add
And
some.
I will mention one thing here, that as you have mentioned, social media. Today, this morning, I was reading in Assam Tribune, one of the gentlemen, he wrote that social media doesn't have a gatekeeper. There is
Yeah.
no systematic filtration what is coming in the social media. So
True.
it's a big problem to the society. Bill Clinton, the president,
everybody needs
former
more
president of
violence.
USA.
I
Yeah.
look into a different, I want to reflect on a very different angle. That is, mob inflicted this kind of lynching and moral policing, although looks very easy in the surface, like people talk about the community role, people talk about the policing. But recently I have noticed and I have studied that there is a kind of, inflicted a very unholy nexus between few mafias and the politicization of few things and
So
other
you are saying,
departmental
Akashita,
communities.
you are-
It's not
you are
as
saying it's
easy.
not as simple,
Not as
not as
easy.
spontaneous
No,
mob reaction.
No, no,
It is
no.
engineered and triggered. That's what you are saying.
Engineered and triggered, and there has
That
been
may not,
incidents
that
of
may not, that
No,
cannot
they
be
have to
generalized.
generalize.
no,
That
no,
cannot
but
be.
this is one of the factors.
Maybe one of them.
No,
maybe
one of the major
factors.
factors, and
yes,
many-
yes,
yeah,
Dr. Sangeeta,
many
you were saying
points,
something.
You know,
Yes,
we are
what
talking
were you
about
saying?
policing, we are talking about community,
But
but we
there
must
has
also
been a
remember
nexus.
not
Oh.
everybody leads a mob. You know, it has been seen that people who are seen to lead a mob, they have some psychopathic traits, like it's been discussed already. They also have some sadistic traits within them. It's a different matter that some people manage to lead more vulnerable sections of the society into mob violence or mob lynching, and because of other issues like lack of anonymity, lack of accountability, responsibility, and lack of awareness, because a lot of people are not aware that they're equally responsible, even if they are not instigating, but even if they are mere spectators, they are legally responsible.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not aware of that.
No,
So
that's to be
however,
discussed.
however, it must be understood that not everybody is capable of leading a mob. You know, there are people with psychopathic traits, sadistic traits, who actually, become leaders of a mob violence and lead the mob, and some other very, very vulnerable people who do not have the ability to
Absolutely.
think logically, judge logically, they get into such violence, acts of violence.
Dr.
Yeah.
Rajiv, I mean,
But we cannot deny the
Yeah.
nexuses.
no, we cannot
political
deny
That
but
is
yes,
one
I
factor,
agree,
yes,
but you cannot
it cannot be
generalize.
generalized.
You cannot generalize.
We will not
That cannot be
generalize.
generalized.
We are
Yeah,
discussing
absolutely.
various
Yes,
factors.
Rajiv Andy.
Now, I just wanted to, we have talked a lot about the lynchings in USA.
Yes.
You know, when those took place, there was no, sort of, WhatsApp or Facebook sort of thing.
Even then it happened.
Yeah.
Even then it happened, and then what was done was that, the blacks were the victims mostly,
Yeah.
and they were accused of,
Yes.
sometimes falsely of raping
But-
white
but-
women,
Mugging.
I have
of
another
mugging,
question.
and then they were lynched.
So it
and,
was
and
a
they,
narrative.
Was it
It
pre-planned?
it was
Was
a
it
result
pre-planned?
of a
No, no,
narrative.
and then their body parts were dismembered.
Absolutely.
And
I
those
will-
parts
yes.
of those,
Yeah,
those
yeah. I will
bodies
absolutely-
were
so-
taken as trophies. Now
yes.
today, the trophies are the videos which the people they take when the crime is being committed, and which is passed on, and it becomes the new normal, which is really, it is, I think,
But
the
there-
psychosocial impact of these, the
But
images
there what
that remain.
happens, the psychology behind it is that some people, like-minded people with some stereotypical views about certain issues in the society, they actually get together and plan it out there.
Right. Now, I
No,
will.
no,
I
I'm
will.
to- I'm
I have a
talking
lot
of
of
the
questions.
aftermath of
I
that.
have
Yes.
quite a few questions to Mr. Hirennath, but before that, Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, what
Yes,
do you
yes.
expect from the police now? Is it the conventional approach depending on the book, or do you think the police has a different role altogether, apart from the responsible manner in which the civil society has to contribute? That civil society also has to contribute, there is no doubt about it, but what
Certainly.
do you expect the police to do?
No, police often becomes a tool of politics, and once they become an instrument of politics, what happens is that they become party to, in a very discreet manner, party to some kind of a hate propaganda as well.
Yeah.
You can see the ruling party and its outfits, those who construct many of these lynch mobs, they actually get some kind of a sponsorship, some kind of a tacit support from the law enforcement agencies as well. Law enforcing agencies act against those who are not part of the ruling dispensation. And in case of a lynch mob formation, we see many of the lynch
But can we
leaders are
generalize
part of the
this?
ruling dispensation.
No, Prasenjit,
So-
we
so-
cannot
so the point
generalize
here
this.
is-
We
Just-
cannot
just-
generalize that the
No,
police
I'm not
act
generalizing.
against the
Like we cannot
ruling
generalize
dispensation.
minorities.
Certainly.
We cannot generalize this.
Certainly. But
Yeah.
the point here is that the point here is that police is getting politicized, and police really doesn't reflectively see where it is going wrong. Police follows certain instructions. They have no way of
Now,
looking
let
at
me
themselves.
take this.
They
let
do
me
not
take this to
examine
Mr.
whether their
Hirennath.
action is correct or not.
Mr. Hirennath,
Right.
Mr. Hirennath, you see, now after Dokmoka was an incident based on a narrative, based on a rumor. Then that Gwalpara incident, just because two people were on a motorcycle, a boy and a girl, some people decided, oh, they were not married, so they were whipped in full public view in front of a kangaroo court. Now you take the Kotiatoli incident in Nagaon, just because somebody had to, somebody was more than sure, just on the basis of assumption that they were having an extramarital affair, even if they were having, nobody has the right to beat them. Now my question is not that. My question to you, Mr. Hirennath, has the police, has the Assam police, senior officers like you, have you started analyzing this trend, how to go about it? Are you going to take recourse only to the book, or are you going to come up with, adopt unconventional democratic measures to deal with this kind of a situation?
See, only in a conventional way, I don't think that it is ever possible, and it will be ever possible. Because you have to take the society, the conscious section of the society into confidence definitely, otherwise it will be very difficult. See, there is a term called political socialization. Political socialization has nothing to do with politics. One of the gentlemen mentioned politics. I will not go to that now. Akashi Tora and me, we are from political science, same college. We will understand better. Political socialization is when a child is born and he is socialized and inducted to the society, what he learns, how he is inducted to the society. In a good society, he will learn good things, sense of responsibility, fellow feeling, and all these things. Now, in a Scandinavian country, in Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, have you heard about this thing, torturing of minorities? Have you heard about corruption? Have you heard about communal tension? Have you heard about, dowry death? Never, no. But these things are very much, common in our society. So, how the boy or the young person is inducted to the society? What is he day in and day out? Now, you open the TV. Wasbir here, I will request you one thing. Even media has a very important role.
Yes.
When somebody is lynching, we are repeatedly showing this victim, lynching him. So, the way you or me will be thinking, a common general person may not be thinking in that way. They will say, bhal korile. Okay, well, you beat him more. So, they will think in that way. So, even media has a very important role.
I agree.
There we should see the faces of the criminals, 1, 2, 3, 4, not the lynching, not the charred bodies, not the burning of the vehicle and all these things. Because this is a very bad effect on the young generation. They will not
I
think
tell
the
you,
way
as
we
far as
think
media
the
is
grown-up people.
concerned, just
Wasbir, I tell you one thing. We're talking about America a lot. I remember there was a Rodney King. That was a kind of moral policing. One police officer used to beat him, Rodney King, in few seconds, in maybe 35 times in 1 second or something like that, and that become a kind of that lead to a mob violence. That was years ago. That's a history. But right now, if we think about in terms of India and Assam and these things, I think time has come, and it's a need of an hour. We won't only talk about in our campus of moral policing, we won't only talk about lynching and mob violence, we talk about in personal level also. There are, in different angles, people are inflicting each other's privacy. So what is, I mean to say, let me complete my sentence, I mean to say time has come to basically give a definition of what is morally correct and what is not morally correct, and what is the role of the society. In earlier days, in our days, our parents used to instill moral things like misa kotha thengsuti, masa kotha kilor kuti. These are the things, moral things there. So recently, moral science is so
absolutely
right
now.
Value education is important, but again, morality is relative.
So,
okay, it cannot be an absolute thing.
These things are very related to each other.
Yes.
So
Let me ask.
Another thing, it's the role of media plus the role of intoxicating substances too. Because violence increases when people are, under the influence of intoxicating
I'm
substances.
talking about law of privacy also. Like we have a constitution has given us the law to privacy. Then whenever we talk about immoral activities to 292.
Let me talk. Let me go to Dr. Prasenjit Biswas before I come to Hirennath again. Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, to what extent
Sure.
is the education system responsible? What about jobs? What about unemployment scenario? What about livelihood or the lack of it? What about literacy?
Yes.
If you see the Karbi Anglong situation, there is hardly any employment, hardly any job avenues. You see those places where these incidents are taking place. It are generally, economically underdeveloped areas. So, do you think there is a link there?
Yeah. I mean, socio-economic conditions really affect such incidents, but the cultural notions such as hopadhora or dain or any such cultural stereotyping that arises out of such a condition has to be understood in a deeper manner. So we have to look at once again how these cultural notions are propagated by a certain kind of hate speech, by a certain kind of campaign, and the campaign follows from the decontextualized forms of violence.
Yeah.
Violence that happens in other contexts are certainly brought in with a certain kind of narrative in a certain area
Yeah.
which may have all these sociological and economic conditions present, giving rise to a cultural stereotype. So there is a transmission of a certain kind of a message, and this message happens because of a background of hate politics.
Background
so
of
the
hate
politics
politics.
is primarily responsible.
Now-
Hate politics is primarily responsible
Absolutely.
for this kind of incidents.
Mr. Hirennath, we were discussing whether the socio-economic deprivation of a certain sections of people, do you think that is also a major trigger? What has your analysis say? Who are the lynch mob people generally? Are they employed? Are they less educated? Are they from an economically underdeveloped background? What does the figures tell you?
Yeah, I admit this thing that this may be one of the regions. There are many regions because when I was studying on this Daini, this thing or witchcraft,
Yeah.
I found that most of the things, witch hunting or
Witch hunting.
witchcraft and this thing, Daini Hatta, witch hunting, these things happen mainly in the summer season and just before the rainy season or during the rainy season. What may be the reason? The reason is that most of the people fall sick during this time. They are starving, there may be,
Yes.
a large scale, financial problem among the families. So, out of desperation or something like this, there may be some regions. I find sometime that there may be some
And there is
economic
a scope
reason.
of superstitious
And
beliefs
another
to
thing
come
is,
in.
superstition. And another thing is sometimes people look into this thing. Suppose a truck met with an accident killed a person. Immediately people will come, loot the truck and put the truck on fire. What may be the reason? Because as I mentioned, there may be many reasons, but economic factor, socio-economic factor, it may be one of the reasons, yes.
There's lack of
Somebody,
tolerance
one
also
of
in
the
the society.
speaker-
There is lack of tolerance.
One of
Now,
the
Virendra,
speaker
perhaps
mentioned
you'll
about
agree.
political thing.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Political, but if some police officer has done it that blindly without applying this thing, it is totally out of his charter's duties, and that kind of policeman will be doing a blunder and he will be doing a mistake, and somebody is doing, then definitely he is doing a mistake. But when we are here, of course, at the same time, we should not be totally jittery about matter politics. See, it's a democratic country, how it is operating. People's representative. I need not explain all these things. So every time is somebody saying something, we should not take that it's a pariah and it should not be, he is out of our this thing. No, because it's a democratic representative, democratic republic, because we have to operate in this system.
Yeah.
I am sitting here, you are sitting here, Sangeeta sitting here, Akashitra sitting here, because it's a democratic system.
Yes.
Had there been a dictatorial rule, imagine where we would have been. So everything we should not be very much jittery to it that this is this thing, but at the same time, the trained civil servant, if somebody is doing something blindly to satisfy the political bosses without any rhyme or reason, then definitely he will be doing a mistake.
Absolutely. Now, Dr. Rajiv Hendik, I'll ask this same question a little later to Dr. Prasenjit Biswas as well. Now, see, we are expecting so much from the police. We are expecting so much from the civil society. What about the universities? What about the education system? We are just producing graduates after graduates after graduates. What is the message? Can't we use these as community soldiers who go out to deal with major crimes. Don't you think big educational institutions at this juncture, when the entire Northeast is faced with moral policing in this day and age, don't you think big institutions have a responsibility as well?
Yeah, I agree. You know, we have a responsibility.
Wasbir,
We must-
may I add something to here?
Yes.
When you mention about university college, when this kind of mischief is being done, you will find that most of the people are either literate or half literate. Absolutely ignorant people or illiterate people, they will never do this kind of thing.
Yes.
Either
And they-
lynching, beating people, thrashing
Yes.
people,
Yeah,
because they
burning
have to
be
tires,
informed.
burning
Yes.
trucks,
They have to be
vehicles.
informed in a
Most
certain
of
way.
them are literate people.
Literate people, that is
Yeah,
another
yeah.
point. Yes, now,
lit-
now
Yeah,
you
yeah.
answer this
Again-
question,
Yeah,
Dr. Rajiv Henry.
yeah, they have to be, you know, informed in a certain way to behave in the way they behave, and for that, of course, you need a certain amount of, you know, literacy, or you can say some amount of education. But I agree to the, you know, what Wasbir have said, that, you know, education institutions and what we teach in the institutions, you know, it does matter, and we must, and it's a big issue actually. We have the education system, entire system is actually a colonial legacy, and we have been, you know, running a system which is not having direct links with, you know, the societal needs. That is another thing, and we are not actually giving in true necessary measure the amount of soft skill, you know,
Absolutely, yeah.
and the amount of, you know, we have not been, you know, diversity study in India actually. I think that should be
Diversity study, the need
Yeah.
of the hour.
Yes,
yeah,
and
in
another
schools
thing,
and
I-
colleges,
I want
we
to
have
add-
to make
literacy.
our children learn that we are different, and we have to respect the difference.
Absolutely.
And we
Respect.
have
Now,
to
yeah,
learn
One
to celebrate
point,
the
one
Yeah,
point
difference.
nowadays
which you've
what's
made,
happening,
sir, which you've made, sir, is that literacy is required for information. But I think also, in addition to that, I think illiterate people are too simple and they believe in harmonious coexistence. They will never strike back at anyone
Right.
unless and until their
Was there-
existence
I
is
tell you,
threatened.
I want to tell you three things are very
No, but the
prominent.
information also
in-
goes through the media, through WhatsApp.
yes,
and
yes.
No, I
Facebook.
tell you
About the
one thing.
media
No,
part
no, the
also.
lifestyle. No, lifestyle is changing. People are nowadays believing in power play, win and wipe situations. Number one, number two, power plays, and there too much people that instill in their mind from their childhood. So
Yes, that's
there
how
is-
the value
so
systems
the
and all
value
that
system
comes
is
in.
degrading. So
Yeah.
right now,
No,
I
No,
want
no, we have to remember
value
one thing.
system,
Let me-
But
Wasbir,
let
me
me
go-
talk-
yeah,
talking
I just want to
about
make a point.
responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, we have to
Wasbir.
remember one thing, this
Yes.
lynching type of incidents, rise of fascism and all.
Yeah.
It happened at a particular time of history when,
Yes.
the
Right.
economic situation wasn't good. There was a lot of unemployment. The economy
Yes.
There's
was
a
not
history
delivering.
behind.
Historically,
Let me take
yes.
Guru
Yeah. Don't you
Prasenjit. Yes,
think the
Prasenjit,
dynamics
you
have
wanted to make a
changed now?
point.
There are many
Yes,
dynamics.
Dr.
There are
Prasenjit
many
Biswas.
dynamics
Yes.
to it.
Prasenjit.
Yeah, I wanted to say that there is a total decline in sensibility in terms of understanding literature, folk tale, music, and various kinds of artistic forms of representation that affect human life in a beautiful way. You can see a general decline from something that is of taste to something that is of distaste. You can see a decline from sublime to something that is not so appreciable.
Yeah.
So there is a decline of taste that results into suspicion, and to improve on this situation, we should emphasize on reading of more literature. We should cultivate reading habits. We should play
Okay,
better
that is
music,
fine.
a variety of music.
Prasenjit,
which
let
ra-
me ask you. Let me. I
Yeah,
want you to answer
yes.
a more practical thing. What is the university's responsibility aims at just giving degrees? Because we should finish our textbooks in schools and colleges, but in universities, don't you think
Sure.
we should look
Yes.
into the bigger narrative, the bigger discourse? That is just not happening.
Can I add to the question?
Of course.
Do we need to differentiate
Of course.
between
No, let him
literacy
answer.
and
we
education?
should have
Between
Literacy and
should-
do
education.
we
should
need
have-
to? There is
we
an
should
addition,
have-
Prasenjit. There is an addition to the question. Do we
no,
need to distinguish
yes.
between literacy and
And
education as
education.
well? Let him respond.
No, these words don't, we won't have to go for a literal meaning of these words. The point is that an educational curricula must be able to inculcate finer human values, and that can come through literature, to folk tales, to the local tradition, and all these do not find a place in the educational institutions. You can see that. The second is the reach of the university. Reach of the university is limited to the middle class and the upper caste and upper classes. You don't see poor people and marginalized
the
people are
schooling.
coming to the university because of privatization. So there is a kind of a deprivation which is systemic, which results into decline of values, and that results into suspicion and creation of a lynch mob through hate propaganda and through what we call a solidarity crime. All kinds of lynch mob is a solidarity crime. Solidarity is built around certain perverted notions, certain stereotypical notions that are born out of absence of finer values which should have come through education.
Right.
Therefore, there is a
now I will
scope
go
of
to
systemic correction and
quickly go
improvement
to
here.
I'll go for another break, but before that, Mr. Hirennath, now we have discussed the theoretical aspects of what may be the trigger of the lynch mob mentality, Mr. Hirennath. But what are some of the practical solution? What are some of the things which the police is likely to take up? Let us restrict your answer to Assam. What do you think the police needs to do, or what do you think the police will do now to prevent further escalation of moral policing?
See, two things. There should be for police two-pronged theories. Number one, very strong action. Investigation should be very prompt. People should be arrested, whoever involved in this thing, immediately. And then proper investigation. The senior officer, supervisory level officers in the district, maybe the superintendent of police, maybe the additional SPs, the DSPs, or in my case, I myself and my DCPs or other officers, they should continuously supervise those cases, and there should be proper charge sheet against these actual involved people. There should not be that out of enmity or something that charge sheet against people who are not actually involved. Charge sheet should be against those people who are actually involved, and properly drafted charge sheet in the fastest of time in the respective court should be submitted, and there should be an effort from the police side, from the government, that this kind of cases should be put in the fast track court. The concerned district or maybe police headquarters, they should take up with the Honorable High Court, Honorable District and Session Judges, and this kind of cases should be put into the fast track court for fastest trial, and they should be punished immediately so that public memory does not fade away, that something happened in 10 years before and now you are punishing and people are forgetting this thing.
I
This
think
should
these
be
are
punished.
Can we have an anti-lynch helpline from the police?
Can we have a?
Can you hear
Anti-lynch
me?
helpline.
Helpline.
There is a question for you, Mr.
Anti-lynch
Hirennath.
helpline.
Can we have an anti-lynch helpline?
This can also be, we can start an anti-lynching helpline.
That's a
Apart
wonderful
from this,
suggestion, actually.
every district has a
Right.
police control room. In Guwahati, we have dial 100, we have 2 control rooms, we have SB control room. Until a helpline is found out or notified, I think we can take resort to this kind of existing facilities, number one. Number two, another thing, police should reach out to the common people. They make the people understand that what is the problem. As I mentioned, that somebody standing in the mob and inciting people, giving a slap, and they might be thinking that I am not responsible, because in a mob you lose personally.
Absolutely.
But the police should come out and tell these boys that you are equally responsible.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, there should be awareness camps.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
add another thing, that we should modernize the police force also. At times police are very helpless. How to handle it? So in Jankar cases also we have seen helpless police looking at the mob, doing nothing. Even Abhijit Nilotpal cases also we have seen some police was taking videos and
I think that needs to be clarified. That needs to be clarified. That needs to be clarified. I have a responsibility to clarify that that policeman who was taking video in the Abhijit Nilotpal case has been stated by top police officers on record that they were part of the team which has reached, although it was late when they reached, but they were taking that video as part of the investigations, initial investigations. But that is
I'm
a subject
talking about the
which will be
helplessness
decided
of
by
the police.
decided by the courts and the inquiry.
That video is the only evidence, material evidence.
I'm talking about the helplessness of police in the mob, how to control the mob.
Of course,
so
that has
they
to
need
be
to be modernized at certain
there has
aspects
to be streamlined
to protect,
and
there has to
standard
be
operating
streamlined.
procedure needs
How
to be.
how to control the
I'll
mob
go for a
to
break.
save those
I would
victims.
like to go for a break. I'd request Mr. Hirennath to stay on for 15 more minutes because the discussion will be incomplete without his perspective on the situation. Just 15 more minutes. We will end this show. We'll come back after a very quick 2-minute break. Don't go. Welcome back. Mr. Hirannath, do you think, considering the frequency with which moral policing cases or public trials are taking place across the state, do you think it has already become necessary for the law enforcing agencies to come up with a standard operating procedure or an institutionalized mechanism to deal with these kind of situations?
It's Rams. Yeah.
Yeah, Wasbir, I think it is very much necessary and it is the need of the hour that number one, this police force should be trained properly, more training, more orientation program, maybe very short brief courses required, that how to deal with, what to do, how to tackle the situation, how to brief the media, how to brief the people, how to tackle the situations. You might have seen in Guwahati, this incident took place in Karbi Anglong, but there was a rioting situation in Guwahati where
Yes.
we had to apply little bit force.
Yes.
So this kind of situation, what to do, how to do, this is one of the thing. Akakhatura brought out a very important point that giving more power or increasing the capacity of the
Yes,
police force.
that's-
In this way, what we can do, suppose we can have a modern control room in all the districts of Assam, in state capital in Guwahati itself, and now whatever you see patrolling vans on the street, actually these patrolling vans are the police station vehicles.
Yeah.
These vehicles are used for multifarious works. So sometime going to the court, some going to the hospitals for bringing the injury report, attending to the emergency situations, attending to a law and order, investigation and all these things. Now if you can have a modern control room and it has, like it is done in Delhi, 10-15 vehicle under its command, so within 3-4 minutes a police party can reach in the particular spot.
PCR
Now it's a
vans.
problem for us because manpower problem, yeah, PCR van, the way it is done in Delhi. So what Akakhatura says is very important. This is being done. This is being done now. Even for Guwahati city also these proposals are going on. And many of the police stations, now say, in a police station like Lahorighat, it will be more than 50 kilometers. Now from the police station to reach that area, it will take 2 hours. Now that day, some of the people, they were saying that in Dokmoga, the incident took place at 14 kilometers. But what would the condition of the road? You have to cross 2-3 streams, as you have shown later on the TV screen. So for 14 kilometers, for traversing 14 kilometers, it is not moving. You have to traverse for the 14 kilometers. It will take more than half an hour. So half an hour may create havoc. There may
Yeah.
be clash. There may be communal tension. So in that way, you have to increase the number of police stations. You have to increase the number of outposts. You have to increase the number of police personnel, police officers. This is being done with priority, but it will take some time. But it is the need of
But
the
it
hour.
is a must.
Absolutely,
then people will
absolutely.
be secure then. And we have to see that no victim will have to lose their life like what we have lost to
Absolutely.
importance.
And a political
like,
will needs
and
also
political
to be
will.
there.
Political will.
Without
it's
political
a
will,
throughout-
actually-
it's
It's
a
not just the
throughout
law. I
process.
think all of us need to change too.
Yeah,
Because
I
at the
think
end of the day,
we need
we
to
need to
teach
become better
ourselves.
human beings. We need to have better moral
We-
education, value education, proper education.
We
And
need
I
to
think we
teach
also
our.
need
What
But,
I think is that we need
Politics
to
of
teach
polarization,
ourselves
politics of
civility.
hate,
It's very,
this
yeah.
has to
Yeah.
stop actually.
Now,
It begins
Dr.
there.
Dr.
Yes.
Prasenjit Biswas, who builds the cat? Who
Yes.
is going to change this mindset? Who is going to bring about these changes? Because as we have discussed, it is
Actually-
not
We
the job of the
ourselves.
police
Yeah.
alone.
Yes.
We ourselves.
Yes.
What
yes.
do you say?
Certainly, the
Account-
There is
conscious
a saying,
action of the civil
charity
society,
begins at
the larger
Charity begins
section
at
of
home,
the civil
Hiranna.
society
Yes.
has to be
Charity begins at home.
have to be aware of the mechanism of the lynch mob. The mechanism of
important
the
role to
lynch
play.
mob is to inflict torture, and torture is used as a weapon even by the police in torturing people in custody. So people should have greater sensibility towards human life, human right, and they should really pursue a line of thinking which disbands torture from the public domain completely. Lynch mob is a potent weapon of torture, and torture, the value of torture gets instilled as a mode of power, as a mode of exercising dominance. So torture, until and unless torture is also disbanded, it is not possible to disband lynch mob. So we have to start with a legal architecture that takes into account human rights issues more sensitively, and it can combine the issue of lynching along with the issue of torture. Torture that is happening in a legitimate manner in police custody. People glorify the act of torture. As a result, lynch mob can be formed. I think that is where an intervention is necessary.
Dr. Sangeeta, intervention?
Look, one is tolerance. We see that there is decreased tolerance in the society apart from the other factors that we have discussed till now. And what we need to be intolerant about is moral policing, and not about what is moral or immoral. See, to actually have opinions about what is moral or immoral is a different thing, and to actually cross boundaries and to go and punish someone, take law into our own hands is a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
So we can have opinions. We live in a democratic society. We can have our individual opinions, but we cannot actually invade into the rights of other human beings at all.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying
And,
is like,
and apart from that, yeah, punishment as a deterrent is very important. But more importantly, I think we must also emphasize on prevention, not only legally, but we must actually, when we talk about raising spiritual quotient of individuals and the society, we must become more spiritually enlightened people. We must understand what human existence is all about, what human values are all about, what human virtues are all about, and we must start living as good human beings again. And since we're talking about education, I must also talk about this. Instead of laying emphasis only on marks scored or grades acquired, we must talk about actually building true
Right.
individual students and people with integrity of character.
Wasbir, I want to
Yeah.
add one thing.
Yeah.
As a peace fellow,
Yeah.
we have learned that there is a word called peace cultivation.
Yeah.
And we have time has come. We have to instill its qualities. Then in our times we have moinamels in all the communities. Every
Yeah.
Sunday we used to get together, sing and dance, and
Yeah.
this kind of atmosphere
absolutely,
needs to
absolutely.
come.
That's
Let
called-
me-
needs to
let me-
come into
That's called
us. We have
positive
to-
mental health.
Positive mental health.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Hirennath, what do you think? A lot of people are saying that the role of the police, the methods, police methods, we also have to reinvent, isn't it?
Yeah, it is necessary because you see, police is always in a dilemma because police has to deal with the negative aspect of the society. You are enjoying life, you are hosting some festivals, you are having a good dinner, police is nowhere required. You are doing something, some mischief happened to you, police is always called for.
Yes,
So police
that's
always
right.
deals with the negative aspect of the society.
And a big
Now the
thanks to the
question
police
is,
also.
and one hand, the urge for ever increasing human rights, individual right. At the same time, police means curtailment of your this thing, right? So police is always in dilemma between the deep sea and the devil. So we have to maintain a balance that is there. Another thing, one of the gentlemen mentioned about torture. I will tell you, in the law book there is nothing called torture. It is only application of force, legal application of force. And that's why a stick has been given to a constable, a gun has been given to a constable. Without a license, even a policeman can wield a gun. Now the question, if somebody is doing really torture, then it is illegal. You cannot do torture. So somebody is doing torture means you are doing illegal things, and there are instances when the honorable courts even hold responsible many senior police officers for torturing.
Yes.
So if somebody doing it is illegal, they should not do it, number one. What we do, it is only application of force, and application force to the least minimum possible knowledge. And it is in responding to the particular scenario. When something is going out of control, to maintain social peace and tranquility, you have to apply force to the quantity required, and it should be proportional to the situation. Now, if somebody is doing excess, then it will be difficult. So now, police is wielding a gun or a lathi. It should not be like that. The society has also resort to this thing because police is a law enforcement agency. Whereas
Absolutely.
others are not.
This is-
Yes,
What I was
whereas
mentioning-
others are not.
No,
That
this is a
when
very
you-
important point.
Yes, Akaki.
This is a very important point. In a lighter note, I want to cite an example of a very good police officer. He was named as Kabir Ahmed. He's no more. Once he sent somebody to, there was a mob violence or something like that. He asked some people to say that is there any কোন আছে তাতে এনেকে খুঁটিবলৈ দিছে কৈছে who all are there মানুহ আছে নে নাই নাই তেতিয়া সৰু ল'ৰাটোৱে কৈছে there was no people মানুহ তাতে নাই পুলিচ আছে so মানুহ নাই তাতে পুলিচ আছে so there the public differentiate between
human
মানুহ
being, only
and
police.
police so Hirenda was bang on right that there is a need of an hour we should improve the relationship between the police
community and
force
the
and
police.
community and the police and I think this will act wonderfully like then
Right.
with the coordination of police and public
Police,
together.
public.
Also, I guess
And,
there has to be some
like,
sensitization for the
yeah,
cops, you know,
yeah,
for the
exactly.
people in the
Rajiv,
police.
That's
would
what
you
I
agree?
believe.
Police
Yes.
public
Yeah.
relations.
No, that is the need of the hour. I think we have to chart out, some very
Yes.
short-term measures and some
No,
long-term
the
measures.
problem is
Education is like that.
Now
but
the
then-
problem we find
we
is
have
that
to-
problem you find is that there is a proactive police officer in a district. You find very good police public relations. That officer is transferred. His successor may not be that proactive.
that's true,
The
that's
entire consolidation is gone. So this is what happens. This is because I'm sure Mr. Hirennath is going to agree. I'm not generalizing.
No,
I'm
what-
not talking about anybody in
I
particular.
wanted
I'm
to-
just making a general point.
Now, I wanted to actually, bring in some other issue. The point is actually we all have to realize one thing, that in Assamese we call zur pori hat palehi. It is a situation like that. Today, violence have become so much normalized in our society. Lynch mobs are roaming free in a way almost, and it is high time. The
course.
political class, the bureaucracy, the intellectuals, everything. If we don't do it, the situation will be really bad. And
There are
So,
two psychological
and
phenomena.
can I?
let me-
Wasbi,
Very
can I-
briefly, Wasbi.
Yeah.
Ah.
The two psychological phenomena about what he has mentioned. When something happens like this repeatedly, people become desensitized. They almost
Yeah.
start accepting things.
They become numb, actually.
They become numb, and
in
it's
a
called
way.
desensitization.
Yeah.
And the other thing is modeling. When certain things happen like this in the society, then what happens? Certain sections of the society with dormant sadistic traits or psychopathic traits, they somehow, their dormant tendencies also have a tendency to come out. So these kind of incidents also happen.
Let me go
want
to
you to complete
Prasenjit,
something,
Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, who incidentally
Yeah.
teaches psychology
Yeah.
at Nehru University.
No,
Sorry,
I think
philosophy.
philosophy.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
psychology.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
and
With
modeling.
due apologies. You still consider taking a course in psychology.
Yes.
You may consider or may not. That's a different.
Sure.
We'll debate it later on. Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, is there a necessity
Yes,
of
yes.
going into a root cause analysis before we come up with a chart out an
Yes.
action plan to deal with situations like this?
Obviously, as I said, a legal architecture is required. Unless that legal architecture is prepared, merely sensitizing and merely drawing up a procedure is not going to lead us anywhere. The important question of solidarity crime, hate speech, suppression of freedom of expression, people who are critical of certain conservative tendencies in the society, the way there have been attacks on such people. Think about killing of Gauri Lankesh or Kalburgi or many such people who have exercised their freedom of thought and expression and yet fell victim to a certain kind of a killing conspiracy. Now, there is a way of scuttling the freedom of expression. Lynch mobs are built by scuttling the freedom of expression of someone, and that's a very serious matter. So, fundamental rights of people have to be preserved, and we should not have any space of glorifying violence. Be it in the name of law enforcement, we see a lot of violence happening in the streets, and people get desensitized when they see a large number of people are also killed in the name of being terrorists or in the name of being action by a law enforcement agency. So therefore, we have
yes,
to reduce,
that is true. But
minimize
any
violence.
any form of violence is
yeah.
fine. But at the same time, we cannot. We are also
Yes.
not dealing with organized lynch mob. What we are seeing largely in the instances which we are actually talking about, the debate that has been triggered
Sure.
are spontaneous lynch mob. Two people going in a motorcycle, people are
Sure.
waylaying them, beating them up, saying that, oh, you are not married, why will you go in a bike? and two people are seen
Sure.
meeting each other, people are saying, oh, these are extramarital affairs going on. Two boys going to Karbi Anglong, taking some pictures, and some people thought these guys are child lifters, beat them up. So this is a general assuming. Of course, a detailed inquiry will bring to light, but we are assuming that these are spontaneous lynch mob, which I think is much more dangerous. At least if it is an organized lynch mob, we can get to the kingpins. We know why it is happening. But
Yes.
Mr. Hirennath, this kind of spontaneous lynch mob, do you think is more dangerous than engineered lynch mobs?
Yeah, these are much more dangerous in this sense because you know there is no limitation to it because when there is something engineered, they have some other design also.
Yes.
But here actually it may go and go. Yeah, both of them are both these types are equally dangerous. But this is sudden spurt is very dangerous in the sense that there is no limitation to it. This is one.
And
of
it's unpredictable.
And,
No, but then, yeah.
I
Let him.
yeah.
You complete.
But I was drawing one thing.
Yes, carry on, please.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. When we say about the society, what is society? It is not something inanimate bits, some abstract things. It is the parents, mothers, elders, sisters, peer groups, friends, teachers, neighbors and theirs, conscious section of the society, the NGOs, and
Yes.
then a political system. The
All
government
taken
machinery,
together,
all
all
these
taken
things.
together.
Everyone, yes. Everyone has a responsibility. The biggest responsibility will start from the family. I tell you, now the biggest problem is with the family. The fastest losing credibility is the family system in our society. The moment it started, everything. Because when I sit as a commissioner of police, I will tell you, I can very closely see how these closely knit families are getting, totally destroyed. This closeness in the society,
Yeah.
the value system in the society is
So it's a
totally,
big.
this
it's
is the
a
biggest problem.
Big challenge.
Yes.
Big challenge to the society itself. I am running short of time. Dr. Rajiv Hendig, what are your last words?
No, as I said, we all have to be up and doing. It's high time, I'll just end with a poem by Martin Niemöller. It's a very famous poem actually. During the time of the Nazis.
Yeah.
First they came for the Jews. And I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for the communists and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the trade unionist and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for me and there was no one left to speak for me.
Absolutely.
That situation,
Yeah.
should not arise. We
Absolutely.
must,
That situation
we
should
all
not
will fall,
arise.
to this
Yes,
one day if we don't
absolutely.
stop
We all
it
will
now.
fall one day.
I
if
agree
things are-
with you,
Yes,
sir.
Dr. Hector, your last words.
Yes, we have to acknowledge our accountability, and I repeat that there's a need of our peace cultivation from the roots, from every household to everywhere, like peace
Cultivation of peace,
is
need
the
of
an hour.
the need of the hour. Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, your last words.
Yes, stereotyping has to be disbanded along with all forms of violence and torture, even in the hands of law enforcement agencies.
Absolutely.
So, if we can remove the sources of violence and torture, lynch mob mentality will die down.
Remove the sources of violence and torture. Mr. Hirennath, your last words on the subject.
Yeah, for this matter, law enforcement agency, you say police or administration of public, we are equal partners and we have to go hand in hand, otherwise it is not possible.
Police, public, equal partners have to go hand in hand. No doubt about that. Yes. Absolutely. And the real last word to you, Dr. Sangeeta Datta.
Live and let love, understanding, mutual respect, empathy prevail.
Live and let live. Yes, of course, with that message, the topic itself, it is absolutely a menace. Assam and the northeastern region has to get rid of this menace, live up to its reputation as a society that is slightly different from the rest of the place, and we have to live up to the image of the northeastern region. On that note, I'd like to thank all my panelists for being in this program. This is a issue that cannot be dealt only by the police or the law enforcing agencies. As Mr. Hirennath said, the police and the people and all sections of the society have to get together to deal with this menace. As Dr. Prasenjit Biswas said, violence and torture has to end. There is no debate on that. I'd like to thank all my panelists. With this, I end this edition of Northeast Tonight. Good night and goodbye.